All new at 6, at a time when the Atlanta school system is facing a high-stakes investigation of suspected cheating on standardized tests. Channel 2 Action News has learned the system received remarkably good news on another front. Financial audits that were an embarrassment, a mess for years, now are in very good shape. Channel 2's Richard Belcher talked to an independent expert about why that matters to you, the taxpayer.
Monica, the Atlanta school system is a vast and expensive enterprise that will spend well north of $500 million next year, so it was significant that audits over a period of several years concluded the school system's financial management was dreadful. The expert we consulted called a series of audits the worst I've ever seen. Now that's history.
It was bad.
Forensic accountant Laurie Dyke is an expert on ferreting out incompetence or outright financial fraud in businesses or in government. Local cities hire her firm to help straighten out their problems. When we approached her about the Atlanta schools' finances in 2007, she was appalled at what she saw, but fraud wasn't the issue.
There wasn't any indication in the audit reports of fraud or theft or anything like that, but certainly when you have internal control weaknesses, that opportunity is there.
In other words, if you can't keep track of your finances, then it's much more likely that someone can steal from you. And if someone can steal from you, well, you know where that can lead. At the very time we were digging into Atlanta's fiscal swamp, the school system celebrated winning a $22 million grant from the General Electric Foundation. But with a track record of dreadful financial management, we wondered, how would that play out? 2.5 years later, the latest audit suggests just fine. Chief Financial Officer Chuck Burbridge walked in the door at the school system about the time we were preparing our investigation. He's glad those days are past.
I'm not prone to hyperbole, but it's significant. It's a big change.
Laurie Dyke agrees.
I give them a lot of credit for having fixed these major problems during a time when they're facing all sorts of economic difficulties and budget cuts and other things. This required a tremendous effort.
Taxpayers should be pleased. 3 years ago, the school system's books were in such a mess it was hard to tell where the money was coming from and where it went. Now that's over. Monday at 5, I'll dig into another problem at the Atlanta school system, how to keep up with millions of individual pieces of property from computers to school buses. Here's a clue. It isn't easy. John?